So yesterday we were discussing about attributes of personality, and under that we had discussed locus of control. Now the second attribute of personality that we are going to discuss today is Machiavellianism. Now Machiavellianism is a personality characteristic named after Italian philosopher and political thinker Niccolo Machiavelli. Machiavellianism is a ruthless strategy for seizing and holding on to political power. It is a strategy in which other peoples are conveniently manipulated to achieve one's own goal. So, the first personality type which we have seen, or first attribute of personality which we had seen, was related to locus of control, where we had seen that two type of people are there. One who believe that they can change their destiny, and others who believe that no matter how hard they work, their destiny is not going to change. Now, here there are some types of people which can be categorized under Machiavellianism. And we often come across such people. They are present in politics, they are present in various organizations. So these people believe in power. They want to be more and more powerful. And for that, they are ready to manipulate with anything. They are ready to use any ruthless strategy to gain power. So these type of people not only are present in politics, but they are present in organizations also. Many of you are already working, and the others who are not working, when you will start working, you will start observing these type of peoples also in your organization. By hook or by crook, they want to be at the top of the organization. They want to be more and more powerful, and for that they are ready to do any type of manipulation. They are ready to implement any ruthless strategy, because they have only one goal, and that goal is that they want more and more power. And that type of people, their personality is called as Machiavellianism. Now the next attribute is self-monitoring behavior. Now this refers to individual's ability to adjust his or her behavior to the external situational factor. So that type of people or that type of personality is called as self-monitoring behavior. The people who constantly monitor their behavior and they adjust their behavior according to the situation. जैसी सिचुएशन है उस सिचुएशन के हिसाब से वो अपना बिहेवियर एडजस्ट कर लेते. So that type of people are called as self-monitoring behavior type of personality. They will not react. Suppose if the boss is very angry and the employee is aware of the fact that he is not at fault, but because of something, the boss is angry on him. Here, the employee can also shout at the boss when he feels that he is not at fault. and for some wrong reason the boss is shouting at him. So that could be in one situation. In another situation, the employee adjusts himself that there might be some reason, there might be some pressure, there might be some stress, and because of this, my boss is shouting on me. So instead of immediately replying him, I'll keep quiet for a moment, and once he is settled, then I'll approach him and I will convey him that whatever he was saying to me, or the way he was talking to me or shouting at me was not correct. So this type of people are called as self-monitoring behavior. They always check their behavior. They always monitor their behavior. And according to the situation, they adjust their behavior. So this type of personality people are called as self-monitoring behavior type of personality. Then there are type A and type B personality. So here in the photos you can check टाइप ए पर्सनालिटी कैसा रहता है और टाइप बी पर्सनालिटी कैसा रहता है. As in yesterday's lecture, as in previous lecture also, we have discussed that we are talking about human beings, human behavior, so we cannot be very fixed, very strict. So it is in general, it is believed. In most of the cases, it can be believed that people can be divided into two types, type A personality, type B personality. Some people are Machiavellianism, but there is no strict, what we can say, rule which can demarcate that this person is Machiavellianism, Machiavellian, and the other person is type A, the other person is narcissist. So that is not possible as we are human beings. Now, one person who is categorized in personality A type, after some days, he can be categorized as type B also, because human being, because of some situation, because of some pressure, the person can shift from one type to another type also. As in yesterday's lecture, we had discussed that apart from hereditary, there are many factors which shape our personality, and those factors, most of those factors are in our hand. We are in control of that. So we can change our personality, we can upgrade our personality, we can update our personality. So type A personality, here we can see that a gentleman is seen and he is seen running. Whereas in type B personality, there is another gentleman who is bit relaxed. Now, how type A and type B personality people behave, that we are going to discuss. Type A are always moving, walking, and eating rapidly, whereas type B never suffers from a sense of time urgency. So here, as we have seen in the picture, that type a person was running. So here, these type of people are always moving, walking, and rapidly eating. And the other type of people, the person who was sitting relaxed, that type is called as type B, and they feel that there is never any sort of urgency. So we can do it comfortably and with ease, any work. Next one, Type A feel impatient with the rate at which most events take place. Now, if the team leader is type A type and one or two members in the team are from type B, then here team leader will become impatient, because if I can work fast, I expect that my teammate should also contribute to work that fast only, or with that speed only. If they are not working on that at that speed, then the person team leader becomes impatient, because it is not his fault, but he is of that type. As he belongs to type A, so he believes that everything should be done quickly, fast. And if the team members or some of the team members are from type B, then they are going to take bit longer time to complete their task. But it is not that type A cannot be converted to type B and type B cannot be converted to type A. It is in our hands, it can be converted. But it takes time. It takes time. Personality cannot be changed, cannot be changed in a very short period of time. You have to work hard to change your personality, and slowly you can change it. So that is what uh, it is mentioned here. Then type B feel no need to display and discuss their achievement or accomplishment unless such exposure is demanded by the situation. Now, type B people, they are so relaxed that they do not want their achievements also to be appreciated by the others. Okay, I have achieved something and I am relaxed. I do not want others to recognize that achievement, and that is type B. Type A strive to think or to do more things at once. Now we often hear a term called multitasking, कि एक समय में एक से अधिक काम करने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए. ज्यादातर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अब ऐसे लोग देखते हैं कि जो मल्टीटास्किंग, कि वो व्यक्ति एक डिपार्टमेंट में नहीं, शायद दो तीन डिपार्टमेंट में अगर जरूरत पड़े तो फिट हो सके. So these type of people are called as multitasking people. So type A type, they always want to do more than one task at a time. Whereas in type B, play for fun and realization rather than exhibit their superiority at any cost. As they are relaxed, they are not willing to show their superiority to others, that I am superior, I know more, I have more knowledge than you. They do not want to show it to the others. Next, type A type. Under type A, cannot cope with leisure. Leisure means rest, relax, आराम. अगर काम नहीं दिया गया उन्हें, कंपनी में आना है, बैठना है, चाय कॉफी पीना है और घर जाना है, तो दे फील uncomfortable. They will leave that type of job because they are used to work speedily, rapidly. So if no work is allotted to them, if they are given leisure time, then they are going to leave that job. Next one, can relax without guilt. We are discussing in type B. Type B type of people, they feel relaxed. ओके आज काम नहीं है, आज आराम करेंगे, चाय कॉफी पिएंगे, लंच करेंगे, घर जाएंगे, आराम करेंगे. दे डू नॉट हैव एनी गिल्ट ओवर इट. कल बहुत काम किया है इसीलिए आज रिलैक्स मिला, आज रिलैक्स है, कल बहुत काम मिलेगा इसीलिए कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आराम करते हैं. तो दीज टाइप ऑफ पीपल आर टाइप बी. कई लोगों को हम लोगों ने सुना होगा, दोज हु आर वर्किंग, they might have heard this term workaholic. Workaholic means, what is workaholic? Anyone? Most of you are aware of this workaholic. जो जॉब कर रहे हैं, these students, they are definitely aware of what is workaholic. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, thank you. Yes, what is workaholic? अरे everyone.
Who just love to do work.
हाँ, who loves to do work, workaholic. Yesterday we had discussed personality. We had discussed some great personality, why people love these personalities, great personalities. Okay. So there we had discussed the personality of political leaders, personality of film stars, personality of industrialists. So these people, those who we had discussed, all those personalities can be called as workaholic. If we talk about the personality of our late president Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he used to work for more than 20 hours in a day. So that type of personality, that type of dedication, that type of passion, that type of love towards work makes the person workaholic. कि उसे काम करने में मजा आता है. That is workaholic. If we talk about industrialist, कोई भी इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट जो भी सक्सेसफुल है, कितना काम करते हो? कम से कम 16 से 18 घंटे वो लोग काम करते हैं, तब जाके वो इतनी सक्सेस अचीव कर पाए. इफ यू सी द वर्किंग स्टाइल ऑफ मुकेश अंबानी और रतन टाटा, or you take any successful industrialist, they enjoy their work, they love their work, they are passionate towards their work, and that is why they are so successful. They become uneasy if there is no work. ऐसे लोगों को अगर हम लोग एक दिन भी घर पर ऐसे आराम से बिठा देंगे कि आज कुछ नहीं करना है, आपको आराम करना है, तो these people will start becoming uncomfortable because they are used to it. Now, if we you might be knowing the lifestyle of Akshay Kumar. Akshay Kumar और जॉन अब्राहम बॉलीवुड स्टार्स हैं, सबको पता है. अक्षय कुमार सुबह 4 बजे या 4:30 बजे शायद सुबह उठते हैं, उसके बाद फिर एक्सरसाइज सब उसके बाद फिर 6 बजे ही रिपोर्ट्स टू शूटिंग. हिज डे स्टार्ट्स एट 6 in the morning. So just imagine how hard he is working. ऐसा नहीं है कि सुपरस्टार है, बहुत पैसा है, तो एकदम इजी लाइफ है. Still he is working hard. Why? Because he is passionate towards his work. He loves his work. He never misses his that gym routine. Why? Because he is passionate towards it. So that is called as type A personality, right? So they cannot cope with leisure. Next, under type A are obsessed with numbers, measuring their success in terms of how much of anything they acquire. They are obsessed with numbers, with their success, कि मैंने इतनी मेहनत की है, मुझे इतनी कामयाबी मिली, और मेहनत करूंगा तो और कामयाबी मिलेगी। इतनी मेहनत की है तो मेरी कंपनी 5 नंबर पे है, और ज्यादा मेहनत करूंगा तो शायद नंबर 1 हो जाएगी। So these type A personality people, they always, why they are working more and more? Because they are obsessed with success, because they are obsessed to numbers. They always want to be at the top, and for coming to the top, or for going to the top, or for achieving that top target, they always work hard. So that is type A and type B. Now, before transactional analysis, one type is missing, I think, and that is narcissism and risk-taking propensity. Yes, what is narcissism? अब ये तो हिस्ट्री में सबने पढ़ा है, स्कूल में, कॉलेजेस में। What is narcissism?
Sir, interest in like oneself, it's like himself or herself,
Interest in?
like themselves, like खुद में ही, like जिसको खुद like जो हम खुद है वही जिसको पसंद है, like we like
Okay.
ourselves.
No, that is not narcissism. Anything else? Everyone is aware of. In 8th, 9th standard, you have read about it under World War II. हिस्ट्री में सबने पढ़ा है ना, वर्ल्ड वॉर 2, वहां पर नार्सिसिज्म डेफिनेटली वी हैव रेड. Narcissism. So every one of you have heard the name Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler का नाम तो सबने सुना है.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So who was he? He was the Chancellor of Germany, and he was often called as narcissist. Narcissism is a concept where the person believes that he is the best among the rest. So he goes more than loving oneself. When a person loves himself or herself, then that person tend to love others also. बराबर. जो व्यक्ति भावुक होता है, वो व्यक्ति दूसरों के प्रति भी वैसी ही भावना रखता है. जो व्यक्ति खुद से प्यार करता है, वो दूसरों से भी प्यार करता है. नार्सिसिज्म इज अ concept, is a type of personality where the person believes that he is the best from the rest. No one can match his type. He is the best. And for remaining at the top, he can play the role of dictator also. He can be a dictator. Now, narcissism, when it was practiced in Germany in late 1930s, this concept resulted in the growth of Germany. And this concept was only responsible for the decline of Germany after the Second World War, because they had started believing in narcissism. And Hitler was it is in history we have read that he was a narcissist. Narcissist means he believed that his race was far more superior than the others. हिटलर को नार्सिस्ट था, और नार्सिस्ट लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि उनकी जो रेस है, उनके जो जीन्स हैं बॉडी, वो जीन्स सबसे सुपेरियर है, उनके मुकाबले कोई भी नहीं. And they start, if this type of belief starts coming in, then the person doesn't love other people, because he starts believing that only I am superior, I belong to that supreme race, my genes which I have received from my forefathers are much superior than yours. तो जो कुछ भी हूं वो मैं हूं, आप कुछ नहीं हूं. जो ऐसा लोग सोचते हैं, these people are called as narcissists. These people are called to be practicing narcissism. If in an organization, if in say other professions, we find a person or we see someone that he always believes that he is the best, and he always try to show others that how he is more and more superior to them, that type of person is called as narcissist. So these person, they do not love others, they only feel that they are the best among the rest. Now the last attribute is the risk taking propensity. Now risk taking propensity, here it can be divided into type A type and the type B personality. रिस्क टेकिंग प्रोपेंसिटी मीन्स कौन सी टाइप के पर्सनालिटी के लोग ज्यादा रिस्क लेते हैं और कौन से लोग कम रिस्क लेते हैं. सो द पीपल हु आर कैटेगराइज्ड अंडर टाइप ए पर्सनालिटी, they often take more risk as compared to the type B personality people, because type B personality people are bit relaxed, whereas type A personality people, they want to be at the top, but by hard work. Please remember, type A personality, they want to be at top, but through hard work. Narcissist, they want to be at top, but not through hard work, by hook or by crook. By hard work, तो hard work, कैसे भी करके मुझे टॉप पे जाना है. क्यों मुझे टॉप पे जाना है? क्यों मैं सुपेरियर हूं? क्योंकि मेरी रेस सुपेरियर है, मेरे जीन सुपेरियर है, मैं सबसे बेहतर हूं, मेरी तरह कोई भी नहीं, ऐसी सोच नार्सिस्ट। टाइप ए पर्सनैलिटी, यहां पर क्या है कि यहां पर ऐसी सोच नहीं है कि सिर्फ मैं सुपेरियर हूं, मुझे मेहनत करनी है और मुझे टॉप पे पहुंचना है। राइट, सो दैट इज risk taking narcissism. And risk taking propensity, again, it is divided into two parts. One type is called as type A personality, which we had discussed, and type B personality. Type A personality people can take more risk than the type B personality. Yes, now we will start with a new concept called transactional analysis. Eric Berne was the person who started this concept or who coined this term, transactional analysis. Yes, anyone who has read about transactional analysis, because yesterday also we had discussed that please come prepared for transactional analysis and Johari window. Yes, transactional analysis. Anyone who has read about transactional analysis, anything? Okay, no problem. I hope that my voice is clear to all.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So transactional analysis. This term consists of two words. One is transaction and the other one is analysis. So when two people interact with each other, there results a social transaction. Analysis of the social transaction is called as transactional analysis. The study of moves people make in their dealing with each other and is based on the idea that people's interaction resemble with moves in the game. So second part is, say, we can say a bit confusing, but first part is very simple of the slide. So when two people interact with each other, there results a social transaction. So here, when we talk about the organizational setting, apart from machines, apart from building, apart from raw material and other things, in an organization, the most important thing that exists is the employees working in the organization or the human beings in the organization. When human beings are there, they will have conversation with each other. They will talk to each other. They will interact with each other. Suppose if robots are employed in the organization, they are working and they are programmed, then those 2, 3, 4, 5 robots who are there in the organization, they are not going to interact with each other. As per their program, whatever program has been feed in the robot will work according that program only. Robot A is not going to meet robot B, or he will not go to robot B to say, hi robot B, hello robot B, how are you? Why? Because there is no emotion, there is no feeling involved. They are not living beings. They are robots created by human beings. They are machines. with no emotions, no feelings. So they are not going to interact. They will just do their job as per their program. But this particular thing cannot be imposed on human beings, on employees. Now, in a department, 10 employees are working. Now, here, the organization or the manager cannot expect that as each and every employee is aware of his or her role, the moment they log in, they shall start their work. And till the end of the work, that means till the end of their shift, they should not interact with the person who is just sitting in the second desk or in the next desk. So this is not possible. While working also, the employees are going to interact with each other. While having lunch, they are going to interact with each other. While having tea, they are going to interact with each other. While coming to the organization, they are going to interact. While leaving the organization, they are going to interact. Because we are human beings. So employees are human beings, employees are social beings, so they are going to interact. But if robots are there, they are not going to interact. They will be working as per the program script. So when the people working in the organization, when they interact, that interaction is analyzed, and the analysis of that interaction is called as transactional analysis. So when two employees in a department, they, upon seeing each other, greet themselves. Hello, Mr. A. Hi, Mr. A. So this is, they are greeting each other. So there is a transaction between them. This greeting will be called as that there is a social transaction between them. And the analysis of this transaction is called as transactional analysis. Very simple. Now, the study of moves people make in their dealing with each other and is based on the idea that people's interaction resemble to moves in the game. Now, this means, can anybody explain me the meaning of these three lines? The study of moves people make in their dealing with each other and is based on the idea that people interaction resemble to moves in the game. सिंपल है पर डीप मीनिंग है. If you are able to understand this, then it is very easy. Is anyone who would like to try? Yes. Okay. So just try to understand that here the comparison is made between the transactions that are taking place among people and the game. Game can be any game. It can be chess, it can be football, it can be hockey, it can be cricket, any game. While playing games, any game, if you are playing, say, cricket, strategy is very important. Strategy is made in advance or while playing also, that how the batsman is going to deal with that particular bowler and how the bowler is going to deal with that particular batsman. So that type of strategy is called as moves. For football also, for hockey also, for chess also, any type of game you take, for every game we have to make some sort of strategy if you want to win the game. If we want to win the game. So in every game, the moves which are taken, the moves which are made, they are dependent upon a particular strategy. Now here, the transaction are compared with those moves. That if you want to be successful, you have to prepare a success strategy. Here in organization, if the organization wants that its people, when they are in the organization, they should enjoy working with each other. So a strategy should be made by the organization to see to it that all the interactions which are taking place among the employees are good for the organization and for the employees. Interaction can be good, can be bad. If there is a fight between two employees, that interaction will not be called as a good interaction. Now, this fight will result in negativity in the working environment of the organization. So every organization wants to make the environment such where each and every person enjoys working. Each and every person enjoys to be with each other. And if the employees are happy, their transactions will be shown, their whatever conversation they are making, whatever interactions they are making, that from that interaction, from that conversation, we can very easily find out whether they enjoy working with each other or not. Very simple. Employee A is greeting employee B. Good morning, employee A, employee B. And in return, if employee B says, good morning, employee A, that means that the conversation or the transaction which is taking place between these two employees is good. They enjoy working with each other. But if Mr. Ramesh is there and he is greeting Mr. Suresh, hello, Mr. Suresh, how are you? And Mr. Suresh is not replying at all because of some reason. Now, this type of interaction is not welcome in the organization. Now, why Mr. Suresh has not responded to the greetings of Mr. Mahesh? Now, this type of analysis, so all the interactions which are taking place in the organization should be positive in nature. and the organization should prepare strategy just like game to be successful, that we will provide such an environment in the organization that each and every employee who is working in the organization shall enjoy working in the organization. There are number of reasons why people are not happy in the organization. Salary is not the only reason. Earlier, it was believed that salary is the only reason. And if you want to motivate the employee, just increase the salary and automatically the employee will be happy. But now it has been proved that salary is one of the factor which can keep the person happy. There should be other factors involved which will make the employee work in an organization happily, positively. So whenever there are transactions taking place in the organization should see to it that most of the transaction, if not all, most of the transaction should be positive in nature. If they are positive in nature, that means that people are happy in the organization, they are happy with the environment in the organization, and they are happy in the company of each other. And that is what we are going to discuss in this transactional analysis. Now, in the transactional analysis, we are going to discuss three ego states. First one, parent ego state. Second one, the adult ego state. And the third one is the child ego state. Eric Berne, when initiated this concept, he said that these transactions which are taking place between the employees working in an organization, these transactions are taking place from one of the three ego states. It can be from parent ego state, or adult ego state, or child ego state. Now, first we will discuss the meaning of these three stages, and then we will have some examples also, that which can be said as parent ego state, which can be called as adult ego state, and which is child ego state, and which ego state is considered as the best ego state. So basic to transactional analysis is the assumption that a person has three ego states. Every person is having three ego states. First ego, parent ego state, and it is displayed through authoritative, overprotective, controlling, nurturing, critical, righteous. It is also known as the thought ego state. Adult ego, mature, rational, and objective. The adult is the thinking ego state. And the last one is child ego state. Childish, immature, and dependent. Child is the felt ego state. So here we have to understand the parent, adult, and child ego first. सबके अंदर ये ईगो छुपा हुआ है. जब हम किसी से बात करते हैं, तब हम कौन से ईगो से बात करते हैं, कौन से ईगो स्टेट से बात करते हैं, दैट वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड. सो अगर पेरेंट ईगो स्टेट मतलब क्या है, जब ट्रांजैक्शन में अथॉरिटेटिवनेस है, जब हम किसी को प्रोटेक्ट करना चाहते हैं, कंट्रोल करना चाहते हैं, नर्चर करना चाहते हैं, सिखाना चाहते हैं कुछ, then it is that we are interacting with the other person from parent ego state. It is also known as thought ego state. जब किसी को कुछ सिखाना रहता है, that is parent ego state. अडल्ट ईगो स्टेट, मैच्योर रैशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव। अडल्ट मतलब दोनों भी मेजर हैं। मेजर सिर्फ एज से नहीं, मेजर दिमाग से, मेजर फीलिंग से, मेजर एटीट्यूड से, मेजर हर तरीके से दोनों भी समान है। जब उन दोनों के बीच में ट्रांजैक्शन होता है तो कौन सा ट्रांजैक्शन है? दैट इज अडल्ट ईगो स्टेट। चाइल्ड ईगो स्टेट, चाइल्डिश, इमैच्योर, डिपेंडेंट। चाइल्ड कैसा रहता है? इमैच्योर, छोटा बच्चा है, उसे नहीं पता कि अगर सपोज एक फर्स्ट सेकंड क्लास का बच्चा है या उससे भी छोटा बच्चा है, उसे अच्छे बुरे का जब तक ज्ञान नहीं होता, जब तक पता नहीं चलता, जब तक वो मैच्योर नहीं होता, तब तक वो किसी बात का ध्यान नहीं। अब ऑनलाइन क्लास है, बच्चे करते हैं, कभी बच्चे नहीं करते हैं, उन्हें नहीं पता है कि अगर नहीं करेंगे तो मेरा नॉलेज कम होगा, मेरे मार्क्स कम होंगे, मुझे शायद ओ ग्रेड से शायद ए ग्रेड मिलेगा। ऐसा बच्चे को कुछ भी नहीं पता, क्योंकि उतना उन्हें अभी तक मैच्योरिटी नहीं आई। तो जब कोई व्यक्ति इमेच्योरली बिहेव करता है तो उम्र के हिसाब से नहीं, वो 50 वर्ष का भी व्यक्ति हो सकता है, पर वो बहुत चाइल्डिश बिहेव कर रहा है, बहुत इमेच्योर बिहेव कर रहा है, तो वी कैन जस्ट पॉइंट इट आउट दैट दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्सन इज एट हिज चाइल्ड ईगो स्टेट। तो यहां पर उम्र का कुछ नहीं है। Child doesn't mean that a child who is studying in nursery, child who is studying in first or second standard. Child ego state means that it when the person is displaying his childishness, his immatureness, then we can say that the person is not immature person, means childish person, कि अभी तक वो मैच्योर नहीं हुआ है। तो कोई 20 साल में भी मैच्योर हो सकता है, कोई 15 साल में भी मैच्योर हो सकता है, कोई 50 साल में भी मैच्योर नहीं। तो इट इज नॉट कि मेजर, अगर लॉ में हमने पढ़ा कि 21 ईयर्स में मेजर है, तो कोई 15 ईयर्स में अगर अडल्ट ईगो स्टेट से बात करता है, मतलब समझदारी वाली बात करता है, तो दैट पर्सन इज transacting, he is interacting from adult ego state. Here age doesn't matter, here your maturity matters, right? So parent ego state, adult ego state, and child ego state. Now a teacher who is teaching in class, a teacher who is teaching in class. Now teacher is teaching in class, that means teacher at parent ego state, and the students who are learning, they are at child ego state, or they are at adult ego state, or the teacher can come down to the adult stage, so that we can say that teacher is teaching from adult stage and the student is learning from the adult stage. If lecture method is implemented, situation is different. If case study method is implemented, situation is different. I hope that you are able to understand. Now I'll give you an example and I want answer from yours. I'll give you an example. A teacher is teaching in the class. In the first part where the teacher is teaching, teacher is at the parent ego state because he want to deliver some knowledge to the students. he want to give some knowledge to the students, right? Student, they are at the child ego state because they want to learn something. So this is the first part. The second part is that teacher is at the adult stage and students are also on the adult stage. Which example is correct? Example 1 or example 2? Example 1 says the teacher, while teaching, will be transacting, will be making the transaction with the students from the parent ego state, which is also called as taught ego state, because he is teaching. He is giving you some knowledge which you are not aware of, right? And as student, you are learning, so you are interacting in that transaction from the child ego state. So this is first example. The second example is that the teacher is teaching in the class, but teacher is interacting with the student from the adult ego state, and students also are interacting with the teacher from the adult ego state. Which example is correct? Yes. Which example is correct? कौन सा एग्जाम्पल करेक्ट? पहला वाला जहां पे टीचर पेरेंट है, पेरेंट ईगो स्टेट से पढ़ा रहा है और बच्चे चाइल्ड ईगो स्टेट से पढ़ रहे. दूसरा एग्जाम्पल कि टीचर एडल्ट ईगो स्टेट से पढ़ा रहे हैं और बच्चे भी एडल्ट ईगो स्टेट से ही पढ़ रहे हैं. कौन सा एग्जाम्पल करेक्ट हो? जल्दी से, वी आर हैविंग जस्ट 5 मिनट्स. कुछ भी गलत होगा तो भी चलेगा, एटलीस्ट गिव इट अ ट्राई.
Oh, so
Last
the-
wala.
Yes, yes.
yeah, the where the teacher is teaching with adult ego stage.
हाँ, that is correct.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Very good. It is absolutely correct. What about why the first one is wrong?
Also, because if they are treated as a child at home also, and even if they will be treated at school also, then how
Huh.
they will go towards their adult stage? They will become child itself. They won't get
Okay.
the chance to grow, like what I feel this.
Okay, very good. Very good. Yes, anybody else? So first one is incorrect, second one is correct. Very good. Next. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes, anybody else? No one? Is the lecture still on? Lecture is on. Na?
both are correct.
Nahi, I could not get anything because your voice is not proper. Hello? Is my voice clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Somebody was saying something, but I could not understand anything. Anybody, if you have understand, if
No,
you
sir,
could help.
because his network problem was there.
Okay, okay. I thought it is whether it is his or mine. Okay. Yes. Anyone else? No one? Yes. So both the transactions can be called as correct. Both it is correct. Students are learning. They want to learn. And the teacher is teaching. If we talk about lecture method, where one person is teaching and others are just passively listening, that transaction is called as The transaction of teacher is from parent ego state, and the transaction of all the students is from child ego state. But if homework is given that come prepared for transactional analysis and Johari window, everyone comes prepared, and teacher is just initiating the discussion, and rest contribution is made by the student, then we can say that teacher is at the adult stage and students are also on the adult stage. For coming to the adult stage, you have to show that you are prepared for the discussion. Then only the transaction can be from adult to adult. Otherwise, it cannot be adult to adult. Adult मतलब क्या? Adult मतलब जब हम मैच्योरली बिहेव कर रहे हैं, जब हम रैशनली बिहेव कर रहे हैं, जब हम ऑब्जेक्टिवली बिहेव कर रहे हैं, वो कब करेंगे? कब रहेगा मैच्योर्ड बिहेवियर? जब हमें जो होमवर्क दिया गया है हम क्लास में करके जाएंगे और हम लोग बताएंगे कि यस वी आर प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर केस, we know we have studied transactional analysis, we have studied Johari window, we know that these three type of transactions are there. And when the students start interacting, not only here what is happening, it is not, it is the method which we are normally using now while teaching is called as lecture method. And in lecture method, only one person talks, all the others listen. That listening is passive listening. That is not active listening, because it has been proved in various scientific studies also. That listening is always passive listening. Now, because here only one person is talking, the other person is listening or passively listening, that is why we can say that the transaction of teacher is from the parent ego state and the student is from the child ego state. So this situation is correct. And if we talk about our class, then this example is also correct. Because only teacher is talking, no one is contributing, that means preparedness among the student is lacking. And that is why the lecture method is implemented instead of discussion method. पेरेंट ईगो स्टेट में क्या हो रहा है कि पेरेंट समझा रहा है और बच्चा समझ रहा है, ये लेक्चर मेथड में होता है. अगर हम डिस्कशन मेथड की बात करेंगे तो डिस्कशन में क्या है, यहां पर सब समझे हुए, सब मैच्योर्ड है, स्टूडेंट्स आर आल्सो मैच्योर्ड. व्हाई दे आर मैच्योर्ड? बिकॉज दे हैव कम प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर द क्लास. And as they have come prepared for the class, they can start the discussion. They are having knowledge about the subject which is to be taught in the class. So दोनों भी example correct है, but the best example is always adult and adult ego state. Student भी पढ़ के आए हैं, टीचर भी पढ़ के आए हैं, दोनों के बीच में हेल्दी डिस्कशन हो रहा है. तो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज द बेस्ट ईगो स्टेट और द बेस्ट ट्रांजैक्शन. वैसा ही हम लोग अभी एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में अगर हम लोग उसको एग्जाम्पल को कन्वर्ट करते हैं कि जो सुपेरियर है वो इंस्ट्रक्शंस देता है और जो सबऑर्डिनेट है वो इंस्ट्रक्शन को फॉलो करता है. मतलब पेरेंट ट्रांजैक्शन, पेरेंट एंड चाइल्ड ट्रांजैक्शन हो रहा है. पर जब जो सबऑर्डिनेट है वो अपने सजेशंस देता है कि सर अगर हम लोग ये जो हमारी प्रोसेस है इसमें थोड़ा सा चेंज करेंगे तो हमारा वेस्टेज कम होगा, हमारा इफिशियंसी बढ़ेगा, हमारा क्वालिटी ऑफ प्रोडक्ट बढ़ेगा, और अडल्ट भी, जो पेरेंट है, जो बॉस है, वो भी अच्छे से सोचता है कि अरे वाह, बहुत अच्छा सजेशन है, अगर हम लोग इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे तो हमारे लिए फायदा हो। यहाँ पर जो ट्रांजैक्शन हुआ सुपेरियर और सबऑर्डिनेट के बीच में, वो कौन सा हुआ? अडल्ट ईगो स्टेट वाला। अडल्ट ईगो स्टेट मीन्स बोथ आर कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटिंग। Parent and child ego state means one is contributing, other one is not. So we cannot say that this transaction is right and this transaction is wrong. Only thing we need to understand that which type of transaction is best suited for the organization. Which type of transaction will result in positivity in the organization. And that, if we are aware of, then we will try to make more adult transaction instead of parent and adult, instead of parent and child. We will try to implement the concept of adult transaction. Although a person has joined in the organization.
Hello.
I know. I have crossed 1 or 2 minutes. Just let me complete one or two lines. I'll be
okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for reminding. Yes. So here in the organization will has to always believe that the transaction should be more and more transaction should be on this front, that is adult ego state of the boss and adult ego state of the subordinate. We will take more example because this is very interesting, and we will also be discussing about the three transactions. Just you can just take down three type of transactions. These are, first one is called as complementary transaction, the other one is called as cross transaction, and the last one is called as ulterior transaction. So what these transactions are and what is the meaning of Johari window, that we will try to complete in our next session. So please come prepared, because I want to see that we are interacting at adult ego state and adult ego state. It should not happen that the interaction should not take place from parent and child ego state or parent and adult ego state. It should be adult. So adult will only take place if you come prepared. So come prepared more on transactional analysis, come prepared more on the three types of transactions, that is complementary transaction, cross transaction, and ulterior transaction, and also do come prepared on Johari window. So thank you, and sorry that I have just exceeded my time limit. I'll say sorry to the next faculty also. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.